You find a great apartment. The location is perfect. The price fits your budget. You message the landlord and they send you a list of requirements. Credit check, references, employment letter, first and last month's rent. Sometimes a guarantor. As a new PR, some of these feel impossible. You might have no Canadian credit history yet, no local references, and handing over first and last is thousands of dollars before you've even unpacked a box. Today I'm walking you through exactly how to rent your first home in Canada as a new PR, what landlords actually need, how to handle the gaps, and how to protect yourself once you sign. Before we get into the how, let's talk about the market you're entering right now, because it matters. In 2024, renting in Canada was brutal. Landlords had dozens of applicants per unit and almost zero reason to negotiate. That's changed. In 2026, vacancy rates have risen in most cities. Landlords are now competing for good tenants. Many are offering 1 to 2 months of free rent on a 1-year lease, included utilities, or even signing bonuses like grocery gift cards. You're entering this market from a position of more power than Newcomers had 2 years ago. Use it. Before you look at a single listing, set your budget. Because once you start falling in love with apartments, it's easy to stretch. The rule of thumb in Canada: spend no more than 35% of your gross income on rent. If you earn $55,000 a year, that's about $1,604 per month, maximum. But rent isn't your only housing cost. Budget separately for utilities, heat, hydro, water, which may or may not be included, internet, and tenant insurance, which typically runs $15 to $30 a month and is one of the most important purchases you'll make. Also plan for one-time costs up front. First and last month's rent is standard in most provinces, and moving costs can add another few $100s. Know this number before you search. It'll save you from a stressful situation. The number one concern landlords have with new PRs isn't that you won't pay, it's that they can't verify your history. So the goal is to replace the credit check with something else that gives them confidence. Most landlords will accept a combination of 3 to 4 months of bank statements, an employment letter showing your income, and references from a settlement agency or even your previous landlord back home. Put this together as a clean package before you apply. A guarantor is someone, usually a Canadian citizen or permanent resident with good credit, who co-signs your lease and agrees to cover rent if you can't. Many newcomers use relatives, friends, or trusted colleagues. Some landlords will feel more comfortable if you offer to pay 2 or 3 months up front instead of just first and last. This is especially effective in private condo rentals where you're dealing directly with the owner. Pick whichever option fits your situation best, and don't be discouraged if the first landlord says no. The right one will say yes. Where you look matters. These are the platforms that work best for newcomers in Canada. Realtor.ca and Rentals.ca are the most reputable. Zumper is good for digital-first listings. Rentals for Newcomers is a platform specifically built for people in your situation. Facebook Marketplace has listings but requires more caution. Rental scams in Canada are real, and newcomers are a target. Here's what to watch for. If the rent seems significantly below market for that city and size, that's a red flag. If the landlord asks you to e-transfer a deposit before you've seen the unit in person, walk away. If someone tells you they're abroad and will mail you the keys, that is a scam, every time. Always view the unit in person or via live video call. Never send money before signing a lease. And always verify the landlord actually owns or manages the property. Before you sign anything, read the entire lease. I know it's long, read it anyway. Key things to look for: the lease term, most are 12 months but month-to-month exists. What's included in the rent: heat, hydro, parking, internet. The notice period, usually 60 days in most provinces if you want to leave. And any early termination penalties. In Canada, tenant rights are strong. Landlords generally cannot raise your rent mid-lease, cannot enter your unit without proper notice, and cannot evict you without cause. These rules vary slightly by province, but they exist everywhere. One important thing: in most provinces, after your 12-month lease ends, it automatically converts to a month-to-month lease at the same rent. You don't have to sign a new lease. Some landlords will try to pressure you to. You are not legally required to. One thing many new PRs skip: tenant insurance. Don't. Tenant insurance covers your personal belongings if there's a fire, flood, or theft. It also covers liability, meaning if you accidentally cause damage to another unit, you're protected. It costs between $15 and $30 a month. That's less than a takeout meal. And some landlords now require it before you move in. To recap, set your budget before you search. Solve the no credit history problem with bank statements, a guarantor, or an upfront offer. Use trusted platforms and know the red flags. Read your entire lease. And get tenant insurance on day one. Once you're settled into your rental and your credit score is building, the next question most new PRs start asking is, when do I stop renting and start thinking about buying? And what does the path to a mortgage in Canada actually look like for someone with PR status? That's exactly what we're covering next. I'll see you there.